Ma, what's happening? Nope, you're not first, Danster. Colleen beat you. Miles the cat is exploring the Wolverine office. Exploring. Turbo Tom, Dutch, what's happening? I mean, you can put on yoga pants if you want, Dutch. I mean, it's a free country. I bet Mrs. Dutch likes in yoga pants. What's happening, Faith? Cat in a box. Big surprise there, huh? What's happening in everyone's world? I put new wheel bearings on the front end of Black Betty over the weekend. How about John's life today? I only got to see him on the road. I didn't get to see him change the wheel bearing out, which is funny because I changed wheel bearings out over the weekend. What the hell are you doing, cat? Yogurt pants? Yeah, yogurt pants. Yogurt. Yogurt the great. Yogurt the all powerful. Yogurt the all knowing. Guys. I'm just plain yogurt. That bearing was toast. It didn't even make it a year, y'all. That was swapped out Saturday night at No Name Nationals. I remember when everyone was working on that. Yeah, that was done on Saturday night. All right. What'd you miss? Everything. Comes out in December. It'll be at the midnight showing. I want to be there too, Dutch. I want to be there too. Spaceballs 2, the new one. So yeah, I put new wheel bearings on Betty over the weekend and put the dust shield on backwards on the driver's side. And I was trying to route because there's only an ABS wire on the driver's side, which is weird because I'm used to ABS lines on both. And so I put it on, I clocked it wrong. I put the dust shield on backwards because it was protruding. And it was one of those things where like, how come I can't plug this in and put it in its keepers? And then I'm frustrated. I get up and I walk over to the other side and I look at the other side that's assembled properly and I'm like, oh yeah. So I pull the whole back thing apart. Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Well, in the movie trailer for Mel Brooks, he's like, I know. The search for more money. I found the money, guys. It was in my basement the whole time. Mel is so damn funny. So I had to take the whole damn thing apart again, put the rain guard or whatever, dust shield or whatever you call it. I had to put that on the proper way, clock the bearing right, and then everything fell together after that. And so took it to work today and everything seems fine. What's up, Braden? So, yeah, because I'm paranoid from last year's No Name Nationals, so I snugged everything down with my impact and I went, hey, Red Bull, what's happening? Went for a hot lap and did my brake bedding procedure and then come back home, another round of impact. Then I followed that with my breaker bar, just to make sure. So yeah, got her all done. 8th of December 1980. All you need is love. Okay. I think the 8th of December 1980 is a dark day in music history. I believe that is when John Lennon passed on. How am I doing, Potter? In the streets of New York City. Levi's here. What's happening? So yeah, got who's going to play Bartholomew? I don't know. I don't recognize the actor, but he's a big guy. He's got dark hair. I don't recognize the actor facially, but yeah. So now that Betty's got new front wheel bearings, now we shift our focus onto the Honda Valkyrie. It needs new fork seals. And so I've got the new fork seals. I got new Honda fork oil. I upgraded to progressive wind springs. So it's going to ride better, handle better, dive less when I brake. And then what else did I get for it? Forks, seals. Oh, I got an installation tool so I can properly install the fork seals. Yeah, we'll get her all dismantled, tore down to its individual parts, cleaned up, and put back together. All right, Dutch is saying, started the wagon Saturday for the first time this summer, fired right up, backed out of the barn, and washed it and put it back in the barn. I thought you lit up the wagon when I was over last. I swear you started the wagon then. Maybe not moved it, but I think you started it. I recommend hydrating or cyanide depending on your levels of discomfort. That's pretty extreme. So yeah, that's going to be all sorts of fun on the Valkyrie. Actually, it'll be fine. Just take a little time. That's all. And then so yeah, the fork seals are just leaking, and it's the fork oil is actually dribbling out. There's patches on the floor, so I haven't rode the Valkyrie hardly at all. I had to go get brake pads on Saturday. I rode the bike to the parts store, but yeah, that's next on the list is to do that. Faux show. For no name's sake, I hope you hydrate. That's right. Hydration is key. The yellower your output is, the more dehydrated you are. God, years ago, when I would do roofing, we'd be on the roof all day, and I drink like a gallon and a half of water and never once step off the roof to take a whiz. Sweat it all out. Just sweat it all out. At the moment, my Laguna Brooks S10 and hopefully the ramp truck. Yeah, ramp truck. Sweet. Ramp truck would be pretty cool. Get a big enough ramp truck where I could haul shop truck and my little camper trailer. Well, that little trailer I sleep in, if you call that a camper trailer. If it's orange or red, please seek medical attention. Yes. Wife said she isn't driving it this year, so it will sit for the third year in a row. Oh well, in better news, I have Master Dill Pickle Spirits. I thought that was Mountain Dew. Hey, Dutch, if you need somebody to bomb around in a big block wagon, put some miles on it and, keep it in fighting shape, your old bud Dougster's willing to, help you out. I'll ride around in a big block Volare wagon. I dig the wood grain. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. Yeah, a camper trailer these days is a mobile home on wheels, more like houses than camping trailers. Yeah, I mean, my trailer is just an 8x5 little container, and then I just carry all my camp gear in it, and I've got a dismantleable bed that I set up, and I sleep in it once I unload all my camp gear. And yeah, so I got a place to stay. I got shade, got a place to stay dry. Heck yeah. So yeah, if I had a ramp truck that I could put shop truck on and had enough room to load the camper trailer onto, camper trailer, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. Then again, have the right ramp truck. If it's a four-door cab, I could probably sleep in the back seat. Probably safe to say you spilled tea while letting the waters roam. Hey, Bear Rose, it's all good, bud. It's all good. No worries. No worries, Brother Bear. I get that. Yeah, people get busy doing all sorts of stuff. Plus, summer's running out, so no names coming up and all that stuff. So, yeah, I should have gotten my ass in gear on. What's up, Rob? I should have got my ass in gear on my motorcycle. I didn't pull the motorcycle out until the beginning of this month, and summer's almost done. I've got some stuff happening in the background that I just needed to get my mind off of stuff. And Lars, what's happening? And to get my mind off of stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna put my bike back together, light her up, take her for a run. And I'm glad I did. I call that two-wheel therapy. So I don't have time or parts to get much else running. Man, so you're working until no name. Ooh, well, be good to see you though. I'd like to get my torque converter ordered here soon, so at least I'll have the transmission complete. It won't be installed, but at least it'll be complete. So be one step closer to the goal. Still got to order a bunch of parts. And then I picked up I picked it up last Monday, so you already know I got the rear sway bar for shop truck. That's going to be cool. I need to get the mounts, the sway bar end links. Oh no! Oh no! I hope Jared's okay. I like Jared. Yeah, I I hit a deer years ago on the Valkyrie, but it was a small doe, and it didn't hurt the bike. Yeah, yeah, Levi, that's exactly who's going to be getting me a torque converter for sure. Is old Coperino. Yeah. Rope up the back tire, bundle up with a set of skis, and ride it through. The only problem here, I was just thinking about a ramp truck, is the unless I started taking, which I live so close to the dragway, it really doesn't make sense, but it'd still be nice uh, to take my truck right to the drag strip, or I could take it out to the other drag strip too. There's two drag strips up north. One's over by Muskegon Northern Dragway, and then there's Mid Michigan Motorplex in Stanton, and that's Old Central Dragway, and that's kind of a minute away from here. Ouch! Jarrett has 8 broken ribs, shattered collarbone, and a shattered elbow on the side that he went down on. Ouch. Yeah, once I'm done with yours, I can always purchase it. Got to get the carb clean so I can start the monkey bike and then sell it. Will it run at all, Mohawk? Have you tried the stick your hand over the carburetor thing, or it's probably so gummed up that it probably won't even run? We'll have probably 7 to 9K invested in it. I'm not a wealthy man. What would be way cool is to get like a cab over Peterbilt with a sleeper, and then change it out to different frame rails and make it a straight truck, and then put a tilt bed on it, and then haul my race car with that, and then build it like my dad's straight truck Peterbilt was when I was a small fry, like paint it up just like his was, and everything. And that'd be cool to take to no name nationals, sleep in the Peterbilt, and that way I've got my housing taken care of. Not to mention how cool it'd be to roll in a semi truck, blaring the horn. Wonk! I'd be one of the few that come there with a rig. Big old Cummins 400 big cam, baby. It runs on a gas-soaked rag for a minute. When they are done, it's super nice to go there for 15, 20 miles. Just be nice driver work truck. Yeah. What's happening, Fox Dude? Amy has a question about her chat comment from last Thursday. Well, if you can make that thing run like on ether or whatever and make it run, clap your hand right over that carburetor for a second and pop it off, and then maybe it'll draw all that BS through the carburetor into the engine. It works. But there might just simply be so much crud in it that it won't even suck it through. My dad had a mower that was that way. It was so loaded with garbage. I put my finger over the intake I took the air filter off and put my finger over the air intake, and she wouldn't draw the crud through. And they ended up having to clean the carb out. Colleen, I can probably decipher it. Brookish, or the language of Brooks, is not niche dialect. So is that speaking Brookie? Would that be Brookie? Would that be Brookanese? Or That's funny. Ah. Davey wants to know if a shart is considered a voicemail. Well, it's definitely some butthole behind you talking crap. Couldn't get a hold of you, but definitely left a message. We were here. You were not. I think the politically correct term is Brookanese, but it is 2026. So, yeah, okay. I can get behind that. Do you remember Brooks' comment from Thursday, Doug? Kind of. It was like something like a fart. A fart is. I half remember it. That was not what I expected you to ask about. What were you expecting, Levi? Maybe it's just shorthand. Yeah. Can you read between the lines? How about shorthand? Yeah, that sucks. Gamble on a gamble on a toot and lose. Yes. If pooping is a call of nature, is a fart a missed call? No, no, the fart is a turd honking for the right of way. It's still pretty damn funny though. Still need to get in touch with my guy about that 9 1/4 axle. Get started on all that. Getting all my new brake parts swapped over and all that. Maybe I should get the ball rolling on that this week. But no one's there when you're just the guy running the stop sign. Yeah, when the guy runs the stop sign, he definitely has your attention. Where you're like, "What are you doing? No, not now! No, no!" We've also had the, "Can we please make it to the destination?" There's no more me and Braden. Sorry to hear that. If you fart and it does not smell, you have to find a restroom. If it smells, you have no time. Very rarely do I have a non-fragrant gaseous emission. Usually they all smell unpleasant. Then again, Lady Dougster says that I can knock a buzzard off a crap wagon in half try, so. Find a new wardrobe. A friend of mine had a hair raising experience one time at the down to Martin Dragway, and he described the event as sod god once, checked my shorts twice. the car usually spun and it hooked for a change, and it basically almost stood itself up on its rear bumper, and all he's seen for the first time ever was nothing but blue sky. It was pretty interesting. I've never seen that car launch like that before. Have you guys ever seen the wheelie for distance competitions that they have? Yeah, I've seen videos of them on YouTube. I've never been to one personally, but there's a Mopar, there's a first generation, I think it's a small back window Barracuda called Badfish, and I've seen him run mid track or not further in a beautiful wheelie all the way down. And there's another guy, he's got a car called the Chinto, and it's a Chevy powered Pinto, tomato rip. And I'm dead serious. He'll rake the bumper down the track. The guy is crazy. I've seen him launch it, send it in a wheelie, and take it down, and then it'll start to list to the left. And then he's actually hit the wall, put it up on top of the wall, and he skates it like a skateboarder, and then finally over centers, and then he'll go on the outside. Hey, Neverboard, how was the burnout competition on Saturday? You need to drink, wish you could. You don't need to drink that bad, Braden. Things will be all right. Yeah, when you see the top of the stands at Beach Bend Raceway is an interesting ride. I bet it is. I blocked Braden. That's too bad. Great, had an extra ticket that I couldn't fill. Damn. You know, I ended up tearing into the Dodge and working around the rain. Anyway, we'll get together, Neverboard. We need to. We live too damn close to not. Well, sounds like it's for the best, Faith. I'm redder than a tomato. Ah, that's so not good. From the sun. Oh, I already knew what you meant by that. What would it take for you to get in the Laguna for a ride, even if off the track? I'm game, Levi. I am game. Let's do it. Period. The only thing that's limiting me is being able to get in and out of the Laguna. If I can get in the car and I can buckle in, let's send that mother. I'm game. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to feel that thing motate, man. Mm-hmm. So I guess the only thing that's holding me back is getting my fat ass in the seat. Other than that, let's go. Anyone going to be at Moparty or Ford Fest or LS Fest? Main Street Mopar. What's happening? I wouldn't mind going to Moparty. There used to be maybe if BTR sponsors me a blower motor for the white truck. Ooh. I've had blower fever for years. I just can't. It's like drugs. I can't afford it. I want it, but I can't afford it. I've looked at it from every angle. Like, I'm like, when I was first like pursuing it, it's like, oh, the blower shop. Of course, one-stop shopping. And then, yeah, the blower intake for a Mopar is $900, $800 new, but probably more expensive than that now. And then the blower and the blower drive and everything, I could have like $4,000 tied up in a blower. And I'm like, So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So I know there's no way around it. I'm going to have to buy the blower intake. Okay, fine. Buy a blower intake. Why don't I just go find a 671 or an 871 right off of the Detroit diesel and do all the modifications? Uncle Tony says, yeah, yeah, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, keep it tight. You're good to go. All right. And I looked into that, and that's expensive as frig too. So I get to live the happiest life now. That's all it's all about, Faith. I may not have the funds to make it to Sykeston. That sucks, Mohawk. But, I hope you do, but if that's what happens, we'll miss you. We'll miss you. Blowers are one of the most expensive power adders that doesn't equal the most horsepower, unfortunately. But if you like blowers, they're worth it. I like the Spoolie Boys. I like Sushi Slicers. I really do. They sound cool. But you gotta admit, Levi, there's something cool about a Roots type blower sticking up through the hood. Yeah, that's just so cool. Yeah, I seen that video. I seen that video, Mean Street, and I hope that I hope that your M dot, and that's what it is here is M dot too. I hope they get you a window, or at least some money, because that's BS, my guy. Old school cool factor. I agree. Yep, I agree. Never bored. Mohawk will be there if I got to ride down there and ratchet strap him to the roof of the trash truck. That's right. I like that attitude. Mohawk, reach out to John. I think there used to be a fund to help with that. I think you're right. I think there is a relief fund. The blowers are the coolest power adder. Second is nitrous, then turbos. That's just my opinion. Still trying to figure if I can do anything about it. Yeah. This Levi is got facts slapping you in the face. You have proof. You have video proof. You can show where they were turning around in the driveway, and you can see the direct result of on the Diplomat. Yeah, I'm surprised that more didn't get hurt right there. Seeing that there's the windows in the front of the house and other vehicles there. And yeah, I mean, they're just junk cars. That's not my philosophy, Mean Street Mopar, but still they're junk cars, but they're your junk cars. I've had some issues come up and I'm not sure I can swing it now. Well, if I had it to do it, I'd spot you some cash, but I'm not exactly swimming in it either. Go to the DOT website and search complaint. Yeah. It's worth at least looking into. Worst they'll tell you is no. I mean, mistakes happen. They have to carry insurance for stuff like that anyway. So, I mean, yeah. They may not be able to physically get you a window for your Diplomat, but at least they can do is write you a check so you can pursue one. Mohawk, I played the lottery for the first time in my life with my father. We lost and realized it wasn't worth the $6 piece of paper it was printed on. Yes. You know, Levi, the most effective way to double one's money is to fold it in half. The there's a casino nearby here, and man, it doesn't thrill me. People go, I got friends of mine, that's their hobby now. Oh, I go, what do you do? Oh, go to the casino, man. Go to the casino, and everyone's got a plan. They've got a plan. Oh, do this, do that, and win big. And he's like, how's that working out for you? Crap, the last time it was my friend's birthday, and we all went out to the casino for crab leg buffet. And okay, whatever, I'll go. And if you have a player's card, you can save $5 on buffet. Ooh, I'm like, I'll just, I don't have a player's card. I don't go there enough at all. So went there for buffet, and it was $60 for a buffet. And I went, ew. So it was a treat. So yeah, I wouldn't be doing that every weekend. Screw that noise. $60? He asked me to get him one, so I got me one. I was in Texas, so he thought maybe being out of state would help. Is trash night again already? It sure is, old Mac. Trash night or Sunday nights here at the Wolverine Garage. I don't gamble except for racing, and that's really because the odds are usually pretty good. Yeah. Now, like going to a casino and blowing a bunch of money. Nah. Don't buy Once in a blue moon I'll buy a scratcher or two, but I haven't done that in a number of years now. Um I don't play the lotto numbers. Sometimes if the jackpot's all huge, I'll drop 20 bucks or whatever, but that's just, whatever. But now if I was to have like the guys over, and we're just gonna do like change poker night. Oh yeah, I'm all for that. I got big old jars of change just for that. Just for that. That way we swap some money around. Okay, big deal. We have fun. But that's the most important things. We have fun. Now, one of the things that I do, like me and my friends, like when the fair comes to town, they have the off-road demo derby, and basically you go fast, turn right on an oval, and what we'll do is they run heat races, and I'll just say pick your pony. Who's winning? Pick your pony for $1. And then that gets pretty fun because the money starts to float around all night. 1 second you've got all the ones, and all of a sudden your next ponies aren't coming in, so now all the money filters over to your friend, and then over to your other friend, and then all of a sudden it's back to you, and it's a lot of fun. That I think is fun. But then again, you're only out a few dollars at the end of the night, or you've won a bunch of dollars at the end of the night, but nothing that's going to hurt your feelings and make you sour because, so and so took me for, $750. Okay, I'm a little bit behind. We were just watching a skunk that looks like he was on his last leg or sick in our backyard. If it's still daylight, yeah, it's still daylight and he's out, old Mac, he is sick. The animal control needs to take care of him. Skunks come out at night. So yeah, if you see a skunk out during the day, it needs to be taken care of. That's a sure sign of it being sick. So yeah, your hunch is right. It may be. Oh, Neverboard says, best time at a casino at Little River in Manistee. I've been by there. I've never been in there. With my friends was when I was in my back brace. After a few hours at the table, we got free dinner because they felt bad for me. Well, that was nice of them. Anytime I'm in Detroit for school, I go to Hazel Park and bet on the horses. Hey, to each their own. I've never been to a horse track. I've never bet on the ponies. Actual ponies. Like we go heat races and stuff, I call that pick your pony. Years ago, was out to the farm that I was working at, and there was a skunk that was out during the day. He was a youngster, and he was out during the day, and I went and got the lead propulsion device, and I propelled him. And when I propelled him, he sprayed the backside of the barn. And, that's just what happens sometimes. And years later, on a hot summer's day, you could still smell skunk on the barn. The stuff just permeates into that old barn wood. Yeah. We're not worried. We're headed towards a neighbor's property. Ha ha ha. Well, this skunk didn't make it. My dad bought this in like 99. And I don't know if he bought this in Canada or if he bought it in Nova Scotia or if he bought it somewhere in the States. But this is from when my parents took a big motorcycle ride from Michigan to Nova Scotia. I take it you don't like your neighbor? No, he has to deal with it. Got a tickle in my nose. Keep thinking I'm going to sneeze, but I'm not. Don't like your neighbor. Yeah, all the skunks can go to my neighbor's house. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to rearrange the garage, and I'm going to have to jack up the front end of the Valkyrie and then strap it into my cycle jack and then pull the front wheel off to pull the front forks off to rebuild the front forks. That's going to be fun. Used to go with my friend and his grandma to the Quad City Downs and bet on the sulky races. They closed down back in 2015. Huh. Old Mac says we don't get along. He's usually drunk, wanted to knock his teeth out a few times, but he doesn't have any. Well, that makes the job easier. Certainly. This I'll be bringing quarters for the bar this year. Are you saying we're going to have poker night there, Turbo Tom? Or are we going to play quarter bounce? Because I was the only one me and Casey were the only two guys drinking. It was me, Turbo Tom, Mean Street Mopar, and Casey. Me and Casey were having ourselves a few beers, and the other two guys were just having themselves a grand old time, swapping stories with us. It was nice to sit at the table and hold court and actually be in person. This is great, but actually being in person is even better. arid. I've heard of people having pet skunks. I've never seen anyone actually have a pet skunk, but I've seen oh, thanks Lars. Well, that's all from my living history stuff from back in the day. I don't do that no more, so and I still have this great camp that I need to use for something, so I'm happy I get to use it for that. And it's good stuff, so why not? That's not a tent. That is just a canopy. That's just my dining fly. My old lodge, the tent, my old lodge, you would have loved, Lars. That one was a trapper's lodge, and it had a big X pole in the front and in the back, and it was shaped out of canvas, and it was made of canvas, but it was shaped like a Monopoly house. So I had two X poles that the poles were probably 12 feet long. So, and I guess the ridge pole would be probably a foot and a half above my head. So you could stand up in the middle of it. And I mean, I slept one winter camp. I slept like 6 people in it, but we were pretty tight quarters, all 6 of us, but we stayed warm. That was on the weekend or the weekend between Christmas and New Year's. That year we had like 18 inches of snow at winter camp. Oh, Blue Grit's daughter Anna, she had the hammock in the trailer. Yeah, Blue Grit was my neighbor. Anna's guys got that really nice Elko that got hit in the door. Did you know that if you befriend a skunk, he will protect your area? No, that is cool. Maybe I should befriend a skunk. I've been to the last 4 no names, have never set foot in the bar. That might change this year. I found my darts. Nice. The problem is they're plastic tip darts, and I think plastic tip darts are a waste of time. I like old school, the actual cork boards. What is your favorite automotive carpet cleaner that can make carpet look newish and it can be bought on Amazon? It's a plus. Okay. Bissell or I think it's a Bissell, and it's a little carpet cleaner. Like it's the whole thing's probably 18 inches by 8 inches by a foot tall, and it works great for cleaning carpets. My friend JMO has one, and I love the little thing. It's great for taking into the car and cleaning carpets and stuff. I'm sure you can find one on Amazon. Yeah, just a little Bissell carpet cleaner. Those things are pretty good. My neighbor must have had them because anytime they were outside smoking, I could always smell the skunks. Mohawk Bullseyes Johnson. Banana hammock. Whoa. Let's see what message was left for me. Best carpet cleaner we used at the car lot was Duplicolor rattle cans. Just pick your color. We just rent one from the local grocery store, Bissell Steam. Carpet is trash. Duplicolor should have specified chemicals, not actual machine. Oh, I plan to use the brush kit on my drill and my vacuum. Well, my friend Jason used to be an over-the-road trucker, and then every so often, because, you live out of your tractor, he would deep clean everything with that little Bissell unit. And I ended up buying early 2000s Dodge Caravan, just regular Caravan, not Grand Caravan. And the carpet in it was just it was like a frosty blue with a blue interior, and the carpet in it was just nasty. And especially right around where the cup holder was, there must have been 10 pots of coffee spilled all over around the cup holder. And JMO let me use that little Bissell handheld unit. That thing was bad to the bone. Had to, because it doesn't, like the solvent tank and the catch tank aren't very big, so you constantly gotta fill and empty those. But it did the hot water thing and all that stuff. It was actually a pretty badass little unit. And actually, the carpet doesn't come out all that wet either. And I'm sure that there'd be other uses for that too. If you and Brooke wanted to like clean your new guitar. Tom's here. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. Now, what they're talking about with the spray paint is you take the carpet and you vacuum it out real good, and then you find the color find the color that you need, spray it, and then fluff it with a wire brush. But that's just for temporary. It makes it look good, like you're gonna sell the car like at a shady used car lot. It looks like hell real quick. Oh, Mr. Dusty the Redneck's here, and he says, I've had good luck with the Resolve aerosol carpet cleaner in the red can. Took a few stains out of the seats of the carpet in the blue truck. Oh, that's right. That interior on the blue truck was pretty bad. And Dusty shoots straight, man, so take it from my friend Dusty. I figured some chemicals, a steamer, my brushes, and shop vac, it would be okay. It's for the ramp truck. The S10 won't get carpet until time to cut the hole. Yeah. You should be just fine, Levi. Check out that Resolve in the red can like Dusty's talking about. Oh, we got Dino here. Our resident Kiwi. Thunder from down under. Where it's now afternoon in the land of the Kiwi bird. So Dean is from the future. He's always from the future. New guys. The new guys. New guys, GNU. Best way to make the interior look new, clean it good, then soak the crap out of it. Dash, door panels, console, then walk away 12 hours later. It looks like new. Never wipe it. One of the coolest things I've seen on a YouTube video is a guy took a sander, like a palm sander, and he turned that thing on to full tilt, and he put it in the floor pan, and he turned on his shop vac. He took that palm sander, battery operated palm sander, and threw it in there, and all the sand started to dance because of the vibrations, and then you suck up the sand. I was like, oh, that's ingenious. It's hard not to wipe it. Itches if you don't. Use Armor All or Son of a Gun. Son of a Gun from STP. Man, what a difference. Old King himself. Like when they clamp a spray paint can to the Sawzall blade to shake it up. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. The one I like is there's a guy out there, his channel name is 65 Ford, and the guy's just comes up with just dead simple ideas that make sense. And what he does is he takes a piece of PVC, and then he gets a PVC plug, and the PVC is probably like 4-inch, we'll say. And then he takes a 4-inch PVC plug and he puts it in the bottom of it, and it's got to be just a tad longer than a spray paint can. And then he smushes the collapsible part so it expands into the bottom of the piece of PVC, and then he modifies the screw on the bottom of it that you use to expand it to make a drive out of it, and he puts that on your drill. Now you hold it in the upright position, you load your spray paint in the top of it, and then you just give it a couple quick bit, 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 bit with the drill, and then he'll take that thing out and he'll hold it up to the camera, and you can hear that ball inside that spray paint can doing about 10,000 RPM. You hear it going zzz. It's like, man, now that's how you get a spray paint can all mixed up. We want driver quality carpet, not restored. Just want it to smell a little better and look a little better. It's had 2 sets of kittens had on it. Yeah. New guitar Tom is down 60 pounds, making progress. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm jealous. I bet Mrs. New Guy Guitar is all going. See you, never bored. Good seeing you. Sorry I couldn't make it last Saturday. Then again, depending on what the vehicle smells like, sometimes I like the smell of a musty car, but sometimes, man, you go open the door on one of those things and you're just like, oh my God. I'm legal to drive now that the Novocaine has washed out of the Frank Ocean. Mean Street Mopar. The teeth extraction was a lot of fun. Mrs. Ecstasy said I had too many teeth to be a smart man. I want to lose a whole person little by little. Yeah, I need to lose a whole person. Way to go, New Guys Guitar. Dan says I was 155 at 18 and 225 at 28, and now I'm down to 170 in my 30s. Went down to 170 in my 30s, and I crept back up. I'm down to 144 now. That's awesome, Danster. Good luck, Dylan. If that's the case, nature's miracle from a pet store. Follow the instructions. Yes, it will stink while it works. Between the cats and the rats, I'm not happy with the smell. I haven't, to be honest with you, Mean Street Mopar, I haven't even called to talk to him, nothing, to be perfectly honest with you. I need to get on that. It's better with a major amount of smelly trees. Yeah, but that only masks the smell. I like the idea that you've got where you're trying to do a more direct approach. What's happening, Tracy? Giggity. All right. And where there's Tracy, Dan the man should be coming in here soon. Only if you have another extra one in bed, new guys can get written to any contract with a significant other. Wouldn't that be, if that one, an extra one, but wouldn't that one be Juanita? It's probably too hot to do it anyway. You know, it doesn't matter if it's hot or not. It's just, it needs to be done. I need to get that for you because I want you to have it. So hot, so be it. It just sucks that it's on the second level. It's on the second level, and then the car is right up against another car right in front of it. So that's the problem, is the access to it all. I got to about 315 at my heaviest like 3 months ago. Crap. I wish I was 315. If I was 315, people wouldn't recognize me. Juanita, extra Volvo, whatever suits, yeah. uh, oh, we do the 3-letter game all the time. That's acronym. Yeah, we do that every week. When I was 325, nobody recognized me. When you were down to 325 or up to 325, old Mac. Anyone else like cinnamon toast for a sweet treat? I try to stay away from the sweet treats. But yeah, cinnamon toast is actually pretty good. Yeah. When I was a little guy, my grandma would make cinnamon toast for me. My grandma, well, she's now in her late 90s and she doesn't do it anymore, which kind of stinks, but I understand. She, for decades, she never bought store-bought bread. She'd make bread every few days, and it was wheat, and it was always the best. So yeah, it's kind of one of those small things that are just that mean the most to you, and that was my grandma's homemade bread. So she'd use that homemade wheat bread and then make cinnamon toast for me, and I was just a little guy. Three 18. Best thing I ever did with smelly carpet was I took it to the car, took it out of the car and went to the car wash and washed the crap out of it. Took it home, laid it on the patio to dry. That would actually be good. If you're going to take it out of the vehicle, what I do with carpeted floor mats is first I take them and then I just beat them up against the wall or something so I get as much dirt out of them as I can, vacuum the crap out of them, beat as much dirt as I can out of them. Then I just hit them with the garden, take them out in the yard, hit them with the garden hose, and then I scrub them with ammonia and with a stiff bristle brush, ammonia, and Dawn dish soap. Dawn is my stuff. And then rinse that thing. Keep scrubbing and rinsing it until you can't get any mud out of it. And then I just hang them up on the clothesline and let them drip dry. And that'll really improve the smell of your vehicle for sure. Up to when I was diagnosed with diabetes, walked in the ER thinking I had the flu, but my sugar level was over 1,000. Holy Jesus! Well, my heaviest was 270, and I won't go back. Good for you, Levi. Take it from someone it's come right up, and it's hard to lose. It's easy to put it on. It's hard to take it off. Losing weight is literally one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, for sure. Oh, Tanner's here. As someone in the medical field, a blood sugar of 1,000 is absolutely insane to think about. Yes, it is. That's like, we need to get you to the hospital now. So I have to find a healthier sweet treats, and surprisingly, it gets me my sugar fix and doesn't kill my diet. Speak of the devil, hey. Got a pocket full of tannerite. Not to be confused with a pocket full of kryptonite. My heaviest was 195. Shelby likes to get sweet treats. Yeah, I've learned to stay away from the sweet treats. Like I finally like one of my weaknesses is ice cream. And I can't, especially if it's one of my favorite flavors, I just cannot keep my gritty little hands off of it, to the point where I finally turned to Lady Dougster and said, we can't have ice cream in the house. Why? I go, I can't stop eating it. So we can't have ice cream in the house, or quantity of ice cream. Like if, so now ice cream, sweet candy bars and stuff like that. Like I try to keep that to a minimum. And ice cream, if I do get the ice cream, I'll get a pint of my flavor and a pint of Lady Dougster's flavor, because Lady Dougster likes chocolate and I like vanilla. So I usually won't eat her ice cream. So I'll get her a pint and me a pint, and that way I'll eat half of that and then I can put it away, and then I can go get it the next day. And that way there isn't a quantity of ice cream for me to go after and go after and go after, because I can't stay away. So I recognize the fact. It doesn't help the food is the way we comfort ourselves and our friends. Right. Exactly. And you know, you have your friends over, and of course you want to feed your friends. Yeah. Stay for dinner, you know, we're going to have this, and oh, you're going to dig this, you know. It's yeah. Exactly. Yeah, food is yeah. My biggest thing is refusing to buy something that isn't real food. The thought of buying a candy bar is appalling. Not eating it, buying it. Okay. I get what you're saying. Replace the food with beer. I've also cut the lot of the beer out too. That's all right, Tanner. We know your heart's in the right spot, bud. Tanner, I think we should have a significant others bracket race where all the couples race to see who comes out on top. That'd be cool. Shelby versus Brooke? Yeah. Dean. I was 219 when I met my wife, but she's a great cook. Yeah, I'm guilty of the beer. And like, what was it? Not last Saturday. Or was it last Saturday? Yeah, it was last Saturday. Night. I had 6 beers. But that was the first time I drank in over a month. So, and usually it's 2 or 3. Like I still drink, just not very often. I've cut way back on that because I know I don't need that. And so I've cut back on drinking. I used to drink a whole boatload of milk too. I cut back on that, cut back on drinking beer. I've cut back on my sweets and stuff like that. Still don't seem to be losing any weight, but at least I'm making better choices. And that's what's important. Doing a bracket race, it's anyone's games. I mean, look at Mrs. Fox. She drove the wheels off the blue car. Yeah. Cut out soda and beer and you start losing weight. I do drink a lot of pop, but it's Diet Pepsi. Decide not to have any more alcohol. It's easy to quit when you refuse to spend the money. It's a big chunk of change for poison. Yeah. I do like to have a drink still every now and again, but not just I am now to the point because my dad hardly drinks. He'll have a beer every once in a while. And that's how I'm kind of becoming is, every here and there I'll have one or two, literally one or two. So me drinking 6 beers last week, that was a big night out for me. Convince our ladies to get the Fox to join in. Yeah. Yeah, really, bracket racing is all about consistency. All the tobacco and alcohol companies are going to be in a world of hurt in the coming generations. Yeah. Yeah. Gen Z is like the lowest drinking generation ever. Yeah, I've read about that, Levi. Yeah, alcohol is just not. Now, one of the reasons is I've got a fatty liver because of my weight, not because of drinking. And and I know that drinking on top of that is not really all that great. And that's one of the reasons why I slowed way down on my drinking is to kind of not, not ruin my liver in the process. My bank managed and workmates have Crohn's. Crohn's, that's not fun. Hey, Mohawk. All right. We're in the same boat. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah, I'm bringing Fago for sure. For sure, I'm bringing Fago. Yes. Connor from Lovejoy's Shitbox Sanctuary, he sent me a text the other day that he gets Fago now down in the plains. He was all excited. He's like, I get Red Pop. Yeah, what's for dinner, Mohawk? When you start eating cleaner and things you used to enjoy taste like crap, it's a good thing. I will agree to that. Once I stopped keeping soda pop at home and drinking it all the time, I switched to 100% fruit juice. After that, I stopped catching colds. Yeah. Yeah. I drink a lot of green tea here at home. I have a big glass pickle jar and I'll fill it full of hot water and then just throw 7 tea bags in it. And then I'll let that steep for about half an hour and I throw it in my pitcher and throw it in the fridge. And hi, Shelby. All I drink is water and black coffee. Never been a hot beverage guy. I like my tea cold. I'll drink the heck out of green tea, but it's got to be cold tea. I'll have hot tea every once in a while, but it's not usually my go-to. Now my dad, he drinks more the sexiest and the woman in the world is here. Well, I'm not a lady, Tanner, but thank you anyway. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Yeah, man. Hey, if you like green olives, take green olives and dice them up and then make grilled cheese with that. If you're into that, that's good with your tomato soup. Really need to cut back on my soda intake. Yeah. I go for a 20 to 40-minute walk every night. I can now jog a good portion of it, something I wasn't able to do for about 10 years when my knee surgeries happened. Dougster's a good enough gal for us. Well, thank you, Levi. Haven't seen her in so long. Won't see her till after 4 tomorrow. Oh man. We'll deliver just about anything. Try not to consume any gratuities. Rock and rye Faygo. Yeah, that is my favorite Faygo flavor. Coffee used to give me anxiety attacks. I'd drink it all day and then go home and smoke some pot and have an anxiety attack. Took me a few weeks to realize it was the coffee, and it also causes UTIs. Oh, wow. Oh, Shelby and Tanner miss each other. Oh. Just think how great it will be when you guys see each other again. Yorkie? Ah, I got a red heeler. Yorkie Tiffin. Tiffin's the name of your dog, Shelby? It was always the pot that made me anxious. Coffee just makes my throat clear in the morning. Yeah, Tiffin, okay. And I'm laughing. People probably think I'm crazy walking down the road. Nah. I'm trying to cut down on my Pepsi consumption by drinking sweet tea, but I think the tea has more sugar in it. See, yeah, we just cut the used sweetener alternatives. As long as it doesn't affect your pot intake, like the RVs. I have a kitty. She's much cuter than that Yorkie. Oh, don't tell the Yorkie that. Took out my instrument cluster out of the dart somehow. It's missing 4 bulbs in the sockets. I've been doing some wiring repairs. Top and plan to freshen the cluster with some chrome paint. Yeah, I finally got the dash all put together and painted and ready to rip for shop truck. I did that earlier this summer. Crystal Light tea has no sugar, 5 calories too. It's a good substitute. Tastes good. The Crystal Light's got their own version of Tang, and that stuff's pretty good too. I can drink the living crap out of that stuff. I love Tang. That stuff's good. And astronauts drink it. All right. Speaking of drinks, enjoy the license plates. I'm going to go get myself something to drink. Oh! Bom, bom, bom. I'm back. Did you miss me? R.W. Knudsen makes the best juices. No, you didn't hear a toilet flush. You heard me get a glass of water from the sink. Not as much as I miss Tanner. Oh. 4 o'clock in the afternoon will not come as quick enough. So, Tanner, what did you get pulled over for in the Pinto wagon coming from the drag strip? Suspicious vehicle in the area. Gallon of water, big tea bag, sat in the sun. I'm all for that. When dark enough for me to bring in, then add 2 cups of sugar. Yikes. Stir like heck, then serve over ice. 2 cups of sugar to a gallon. That's a lot of sugar. That's some seriously sweet tea. Wonderful. Wouldn't worry about that little guy. See that one right there? I wouldn't worry about that one right there. Yeah, cut it down to a cup of sugar for sure. Yeah, diabetes. The cop was shining his lights into my very visible car, blinding me. I was flashing my lights into back, trying to tell him I couldn't see, and I saw the extra lights. Flashed him with a pen light. You know, when I was young, I got pulled over all the time. And I've noticed as I got older, the cops hardly ever bother me. So I think it's just the fact that you're young. I think that's the main reason why the cops mess with you. Yo, Country Woods, what's happening? You out on the road or you home R&R'ing? Country Woods. The pen light I keep in my collar. I have it thanks to my job. Kool-Aid is 2 cups to a gallon, so true. Dan the man, what's happening? At least not when I do it. My dad was in front of me, his Mustang when I got pulled over. I think he was just looking to make a stop. Yeah, on the road. Good, sir. All right. Where are you at tonight? How often do you get home, country? I hope you're home at least once a week. Any longer than that, it's unacceptable. Same old, same old. That's all right, though. Kool-Aid's nothing but chemicals. Yeah. Then again, my Diet Pepsi isn't exactly the best thing for you. But I cut down I went from Diet Mountain Dew to Diet Pepsi because just for the sheer amount of caffeine. I once told a cop not to get writer's cramp when he was writing me reckless and careless tickets. Once a month I'm home, but I'm in Marion, Illinois at the moment. Once a month sucks, dude. Driving for 3 weeks at a time sucks. Used to eat the Kool-Aid powder straight out of the package. Yeah. Tanner and I just stopped and talked to Jeremy. Had a cop pull me over and had his brights on, and he turned his spotlight on. Let's just say I was practically blind through the end of it. It's also shining his flashlight in my face too. I don't understand why they do that. Who didn't grow up with a red or blue Kool-Aid mustache? Yeah. Wow. Company driver making that? Yeah, but you're running covered wagon too. I can see that. That is really good. That is really good. Well, crap. Experienced drivers right now for Walmart are pulling down six figures, starting at 100. But then again, you've got to have a really squeaky clean driving record to drive for Walmart too. And you can tell those guys are all. The Walmart drivers are professional drivers. They're uniformed up. They're clean. They're on time. It's nice to see 75 cents a mile for a company man. That's not bad. They think that blinding us asserts dominance. I think what it is blinding you so that you can't see what they're doing. So they can. I don't know. 75 cents a mile. That's not bad. And think about this. You're making that kind of pay and you're not having to insure the truck. You're not having to fuel the truck. And because rigs get horrible mileage. If you're getting 9 miles to gallon with a rig, which is insanely good fuel mileage, usually you're getting 4 to 5 to 6 in a rig, which is rough. One time a Walmart driver got drunk and the Walmart my mom works at, they had to call in on him. Holy crap. Better know how to speak and read fluent English. See, that's the thing, is every driver that comes in for Walmart, you can understand what they're saying. They're smart people. And yeah, it's so refreshing. And they don't wear sandals and sweatpants and shorts to work. And it's so much different. I cannot believe the sorry excuses for professional drivers that I see on a daily basis. It just, I've had a haircut a few weeks now, but, yeah, I had a haircut not that long ago. Good eye. I worked with a guy who couldn't figure out why he was getting headaches. He was aspartame in the diet soda. The cop said he pulled me over because someone had reported shots fired in the area I had just come from. He pulled me out of my driveway onto the main road. Okay. Sounds to me like the suspicious vehicle in the area. In other words, we just wanted to fuck with you right now because we have nothing else better to do. Yeah, it's pretty sad. The guys, the people who don't understand English, the people who hardly speak English, we had a while back a driver, we loaded him, we called him, he come up, he signed for his bills, and then he's free to go. So he's supposed to pull out a door, fill in the blank. Well, we've got another driver waiting to pull into that very same door, and I have the bills. So I'm back to back loading the same door. I just loaded out the Joker, and then I'm waiting for Dude Man to pull in. And I go over and I start pulling. I normally, while I'm waiting for the trucks to swap, I'm pulling my next order and staging it on the dock to kind of get to utilize that downtime. Well, I go over and I haven't heard the air brakes trip because I usually hear the air brakes trip at the dock. And I open the door and it's still that loaded truck. And I'm like, come on, Joker, let's go. And I close the door and I pull some more order. And after a while later, I've got like 6 more skids pulled. I go over to the door, open it up, and Joker's still there. And finally, I go outside because I've got almost half a truck staged on the dock, and our dock's not that big. Finally, I'm like, I go out to Joker, and hi, Mandy, and don't believe her. That was funny. And so I walk out there and I beat on the cab door, and Joker, he's from some third world country. He's in his sleeper watching YouTube videos, I think, and he's just hanging out backed into the door. And I'm like, you need to get out of here. You need to pull away from our door. And then he tries to give me the just a minute, just a minute. And I'm like, no, Max, what's happening? Good to see you, my friend. I'm like, you need to get out of here. And I point to the tractor trailer waiting for the door. I'm like, I got to load him. You need to get moving. So from where my dock is, we have some windows I can see out of. So this guy pulls out of the door, and yeah, if you subscribe to me, I don't want him as my subscriber. And he pulls out of the door into the street in front of our facility, and he pulls up. He stops in the street. Now, it's not a very busy street, but it's still the street. And then he's parked over there. Well, I don't realize that I thought he was pulled off to the shoulder, but no, he's parked in the middle of the lane of a 2-lane road. And he gets in the back of the sleeper again and doing whatever. And then the next truck driver backs into the door, and I start to load him. And all of a sudden I hear, "Blah!" Like, what the hell's going on? I drive over by the window and look out, and there's 3 semi-trucks up behind him, and they're all blaring on the horn. And you finally see him jump out of the sleeper and get his tractor and drive forward. It's like, what are you doing? What is so important on your phone that you've got to stop in the middle of the road? And this is one example of the many of the steering wheel holders that we get in our facility. We get truck drivers and we get steering wheel holders, and they're one end of the spectrum to the other. You get truck drivers, they're some of the best people you'll ever deal with, professional. They can back a truck into a door straight. That's another one that blows me away. We'll get trucks that are so far over to the left or to the right to the dock plate that I can't even put the dock plate out to load the truck because they're so far over. It's bad, and that's bad because you got to be off like 10 inches, over 10 inches, almost a foot for me to not be able to put the dock plate out to the left or to the right. You know what's bad? When I open the door and I can look down the side of your trailer at your mirrors from inside the building, that you're that far over to the left or to the right. And I had one guy beg me, and like, you need to pull forward and back in again. Well, can't you just work around it? I don't want to do it again. And I'm like, you're so far over, I can't even get the dock plate out. A Swift driver can back up. We used to get Swifty Swifts in our facility. We haven't had Swifty Swifts in a while. I'm just an accelerator pedal holder. Yeah. Sorry to go on a rant about work, but we get some real winners. You should start reporting the drivers. Yeah, I should, but we get so it becomes the normal. So when you actually have a real truck driver come in, you're just so thankful to have someone who's smart for a change. It just rained here, might rain again. I'm going to get my run in before that happens. Go get it, Tom. I watched 7 people And I use people lightly, get pulled out of a Freightliner, and get arrested. One of them pissed and threw a hole in the floor, and DOT officer doing an inspection from the pit. She was not, oh, good. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Slow wagon in fat traffic. No, Swift, see what I effed up today. Yeah, something that I don't have to deal with. I've had many people who can't back up. I don't even bother using a backup camera, but most do for easy things. Why would you take a leak on the inspecting officer while you're people are stupid. Our cool store goods packer was from Chicago. He felt the same way about us New Zealand minions. We had one guy come in, and he was a real itty bitty short guy too. I don't even think he was 4'11". And he comes in and he can barely ask for the load number. Like your load has a load ID um of this. He barely asks for it, and the guy goes, "Oh, your load has been canceled. We don't have the product, so we cannot load you, so you're free to go. You're going to have to call your broker. We're sorry about that." And the guy, you can tell that, he could have told him that he was the king of France. And that guy, it meant the same thing to that guy. And no more than the guy at the window told him that, he asked for that same load number again. And he goes, "No, I just told you your load has been canceled. We don't have the product. And we're sorry, you're going to have to get a load of your load broker." That same exchange went on 4 more times before he finally walked away. And it's like he wasn't even, he did not understand. Just kept asking for that load number. It just blew me away. But that was before, that was a number of years ago when that happened. Now that the whole speak English thing's going on for truckers, that's pretty huge. We have that a lot less. I've seen an ambulance get crashed into a door. That was interesting. She got fired shortly thereafter. Yes. They all had their bath towels on their heads. I was waiting for her to rip one off of a head and wipe herself off. There's a key word in that comment. Yeah. Mark was my absolute favorite manager. Chicago guys are hardcore. They are. But great guys, they are. And I was on the triple shift. And he was always worried about my welfare. I was worried about his. Yeah. I'm not talking about, I'm typing. This is true. To haul 500 live pigs and release them in Dearborn? Ooh, no, that's cruel. Be the exception, please. Actually, Lady Dougster's a pretty damn good driver. Can't even say anything. Backed into a pole with the Valiant. Don't do that. Cruel and funny. Do not back into poles with the Valiant. I can back a trailer though. Yeah. I'm proud of that. That's a skill that I've gotten a lot better at over the years, is doing just that. The longer it is, the easier it is to back it up. The shorter it is, the more of a pain in the ass it is to back up. Oh, then that's just a ding. That ain't nothing then. Shelby doesn't make me nervous for what it's worth. Don't trust her at night though. She can't see. Well, that's because she's got corrective lenses like the Dougster. That's what she said. High number of bikers from many motorcycle clubs are auto trailer and hockey. Well, a backup camera is not something I have in my world. Yeah, I've never had to use a backup camera, especially when you have, I don't know, 3 mirrors on a car. Well, one of my coworkers at my last job, she had a Mercury Mountaineer and a nice silver Mercury Mountaineer. All of a sudden, the whole ass end of her Mountaineer's all buggered up. And finally, I go, Nicole, what's wrong with the Mountaineer? What happened? She goes, oh, the backup beepers stopped working and now I'm hitting stuff. And I'm like, so the 3 mirrors that you have don't work? Because those engineers are pretty smart. They gave you 3 mirrors to look out of. She goes, I don't use those. And I go, obviously. She goes, shut up, Doug. Goosenecks kind of suck to back up. The best piece of advice I can give you in backing up a trailer is watching your mirrors as you back up. If the trailer starts to move to the right side, steer the wheel towards that side. So if the trailer starts to walk over to the right, turn the wheel to the right. Kind of overcome it. And then you can learn how to pivot a trailer and stuff like that. And it's, once you master it, it's a lot. It used to, backing up trailers when I was younger, it used to just stress me out. Always worried about hitting stuff, and just dropped a voicemail off in the bathroom. What's happening? Welcome back. The guy with the absolutely crappy SUV. But yeah, backing up a trailer, once you have confidence and knowing what you're doing and put it where you want to, oh man, that's empowering right there. I don't like backup cameras. They're mandatory now. Older cars, you don't even have a mirror to back up. Modern cars, you can't see the car. You can see the car behind you. Exactly. Yeah, one of the things that I hated was I used to load steel trucks, and I'd have to back the covered wagons into the pit to load them. And it's nighttime, and I'm backing into the pit, and you've got another tractor trailer here, and then it's a narrow door, and just barely 2 trucks fit in there anyway. And oh man, that used to just I'd have to decompress for 10 minutes after backing in. That was when I was in my 20s. Backing that semi in and didn't hit the door, didn't hit the building, didn't hit the other truck, and safely back to the door. Oh my God, I did it. I'll have you back up the Laguna. You see how hard it is in an old car. Yeah. Some people put a hitch in front of their vehicle, which makes it more cheesier. Yeah, cheesier for sure. like the meme that says, bet that lagoon is pretty similar to my satellite. I always open the driver's door and back that car into spots. Yeah. Um, you want to see someone get all irate? Watch my dad, who's a 43-year retired truck driver. When he sees those truck drivers open up the door and start looking down the side of their trailer, oh yeah, you'll start seeing my dad get all irate. And he's like, use your mirrors. Don't look down the trailer. Use your damn mirrors. Hard to lean when the 5-point harness on. Well, that's why you've got the backup. That's why you got a backup person. Yeah. We even put a neck restraint in the question. Yeah, that's why you have backup people. You have a big metal bumper and you don't have to worry about where you're backing. The front of the hitch be on the left front of the vehicle. Yeah, I don't understand. And even worse yet is some of the like new Ford pickups and stuff, they have trailer backup assist. So that means that now people are going to pull in to back their boat into the boat launch and then hit the button and let the truck do it itself. So when they finally, because nobody maintains anything anymore, and that's not going to work one day. So they'll have no idea how to back up a trailer at all. And then one day they won't be able to back their boat into the thing because the button doesn't work anymore. Now what are you going to do? That's just like, really? All we're turning people into is a bunch of powder puffs, man. Be correct if some redneck didn't take them off in the name of E.T. I bet that is fun. I bet at some point I'll have to be there with a scamp on. Scamp on. Already for NHRA, but ARH is good. But tech never fails, Doug. Oh yeah, you're right, Max. Pride myself in backing ability. I spotted trailers at Ralston Purina for 7 years with a twin screw international day cab tractor. I averaged 75 trailers in and out, 8 hours, no accidents. That's right. Or the thing fails and it drowns a family. Sad that folks don't want to use their... Exactly. Tandem yard goat? No, he's not in a yard goat. He's not in a switcher tractor. He's in a regular tractor. And dropping hooks, 75 trailers in and out in 8 hours with a regular day cab tractor. That means he's jumping out every time and cranking up and down dollies. That means his fifth isn't on a hydraulic. That's 75 trailers in 8 hours. That's a lot of in and out. That's a workout. That's a flipping workout. People get what they earned, but don't like the word deserve. Driving my bucket truck through the roundabout at a general hauler, hit the platform of my truck. No damage to my truck, but his front chrome bumper was standing 10 foot in the air. They pay $70K for a truck just for it to do everything for them. That's how it's getting to be. I mean, some of the newer Rams, you can kneel the truck because it has pneumatic suspension on it. It's like, why do we need that? Why? Yeah, I said they don't like the word deserve. Yeah. Yeah, I got what you said, Max. Yeah, 70,000, that's getting to be the cheap side of things. Some of the more loaded trucks are over 100,000, which blows me away. I have to back up my Durango to the trailer. I do open the rear door which is a cheat, but I don't need cameras. Well, now backing it up. Oh, so you open the lift gate so you can kind of look and see where the hitch is to the ball. I can kind of see that. Just think of it, most modern vehicles really are. Exactly, exactly. That same amount of money could buy you a house, and a house appreciates, not depreciates. And it's even worse if you paid $100,000 for the blessed thing and you drive it off. You put the paperwork in your name and drive it off of the lot. The minute you drive it, sign the paperwork and drive it off the lot, it's depreciated $33,000 right off the rip. Now the thing's only worth $67,000. That just blows me away. Or $77,000 that you paid $100,000 for. That blows me away because it's a used truck. I think there will be a time when a new manufacturers flip and start doing the old stuff. I can see the ball when I open the rear door. That's what I figured. People get payments up the wazoo because they think they need it. People should work their way up to nice cars. 67,000. Okay, 67. Thank you. Thank you. I never said I was a mathematical genius. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that this whole world is on a payment. What's my payment? Oh, I can afford that payment. What's my payment? And it blows me away when, you've got people paying out. I couldn't press 200 pounds, but I could butterfly 400. Yes, crank dollies and swing doors. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep. I am a drunk on Diet Pepsi. I will admit that. Tanner does the math for you. You should see all the math I've been doing today. I've been figuring out where pistons are per every 10 degrees of crank rotation using trigonometry. Ah. Hi, Kev. Good to see you. It's my favorite Diet Pop. It is mine too. My second choice is Diet Dr. Pepper. I really like Diet Dr. Pepper. But yeah. Lady Dougster's favorite Diet Pop is Diet Pepsi. She always says it's so crisp. Never had a car payment. That's why I drive a 2003. Yeah, I agree. I like my paid for iron for sure. Pepsi makes me sick. Dr. Pepper is gross to me now, both of which I once liked. Well, tastes do change as time goes on. Was Poo Tube up to the crap again? Pepsi doesn't make me sick. Then again, Pepsi's a family affair. The company that owned the Pepsi bottler that my grandfather used to work for, they had in the 50s, they built a hydrofoil that was made of mahogany. It was called Miss Pepsi. And because they had the Great Lakes Pepsi distributorship, And that thing had twin Allison aircraft V12s with superchargers on it. I don't know how fast Miss Pepsi was going on the water, but a few weeks ago, Miss Pepsi is on one of my captions pictures for my live stream, and she's all running. Anyways, she's on display at a maritime museum in the greater Detroit area, and I'd like to go see that because I'm pretty confident that my grandpa knew about that car. He was or boat. He was friends. It was Dawson Brothers, Dossins, Dawsons. And my grandfather actually was friends with some of the Dawsons. Well, he had worked for Pepsi for 40 years. I would imagine he had befriended a couple of those guys over that long, working for the same company. Oh yeah, that's right. Steve Maggs is going to be on Kev's live stream. Steve Magnante, Steve Maggs, great guy. Okay, I only paid $700 for the truck I drive now. I really can't picture paying $100,000 for a new one, especially when you could live in a house that costs that much. They don't sell Mountain Dew in Mexico, so keep that in mind if you come here. Okay. Yeah, and Mex keeps telling me that I do not want to drink Mexican Pepsi. Bye, Colleen. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Mean Street, my car costs what most pay a month for a new car. It kills me seeing people with payments who are forced to work hard and their life gets ruined. Exactly. Yeah, twin V12s, twin supercharged V12s. Has anyone had back into a cold storage facility in Kansas City? It's a challenge. You have to back into a cave almost an eighth mile with one right turn and one left turn. It's narrow. Holy wow. Mexican Pepsi is not good. See, I've had Mexican Pepsi, and one of my coworkers, it was a Mexican girl named Gloria, and I think she had a crush on me. She found out that I like Pepsi in glass bottles, and she was bringing me Pepsis from work because she worked at a Mexican grocery store besides nights with us, and she kept bringing me Pepsis and Mexican Pepsis, and I just thought that they were I didn't like them because I thought they were just a stale pop, but now I think I understand from what Mex is telling me that that's just the way they are. She worked at a bodega. We hired extra moderators. Most people pay extra to buy a fancy car to look like they're rich. Exactly. Only to drive it to work, pay for the car, and waste so much of their life. Well, I mean, look at it in your trade. Teflon Don is here. Well, I mean, look at like mechanics. Like how many young guys that work alongside all the old guys that over the course of 10, 15 years have a whole bunch of nice snap-on tools and Mac tools and Matco and all that stuff and a really nice toolbox. And these young bucks come in there and they read the room totally wrong. And they think that they need to run out and buy themselves a big expensive toolbox and have all of those really nice tools. And nobody tells them that they all started with cheap tools and worked their way up to really nice tools. So now that young buck is now basically signed his life over to the Snap-on man, and he has to work every damn minute he can just to pay the Captain Snappy, and he's always that far away from losing all his tools. Same thing applies, and it's just, because they feel I deserve it. Are you speaking from experience? No, I've never been in that position with the tool truck. Thank God. But I've seen it happen 100 times. I watched more than one guy's toolbox. I'm one of those guys that sometimes all it takes is something to happen to you, and I'm there to witness it for me to go, I won't do that. I've seen what happens there. I've watched more than one guy get their toolbox repossessed by the by the tool truck. That sucks. Rich to me is enjoyable life without stress, enough money to make it by while being able to save a little on the side. Amen to that, Tanner. Amen to that. Yes. Yes. I mean, I like Snap-on tools, but my newest Snap-on ratchet is a 1951. My oldest Snap-on ratchet is a 1941, and I use them. I used them this weekend. You know, I have a toolbox now, a Snap-on toolbox that's almost as old as I am. Both my Snap-on toolboxes are almost as old as I am. Still holds tools, you know, don't have to have shiny paint. I kind of like the patina look of my old toolboxes, and my one toolbox has a bunch of old school, early 90s, late 80s Snap-on stickers all over it, which I think is cool as frig. One of the stickers on my old Snap-on box is a 70th anniversary Snap-on sticker. And what are we up to now? Like 110 or 100 years? 110? Yeah, 110 years of Snap-on. So that was a few years ago. When somebody with a newer car looks down on you for your old car, say to them, my car is 45 years old and will be here long after your car's in the junkyard. Exactly right. Exactly right. Or even better yet, don't laugh at me, bud. This thing's paid for. Just subbed. Can't believe I wasn't already. Good for you, Danster. My toolbox is super cheap. I have it full of homemade tools and cheap stuff. Who needs expensive when expensive enough works just as well? A rich guy can say that his car is paid off as well. Yes. I got my dad's old Snap-on box. It's covered in vintage stickers too. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like I'm always looking on Marketplace for tools. I'm a tool hound. Hi Wendy, good to see you. We're not rich, but we have a stash, and that's all of our cars are paid for, and the house too. Good for you. That's our biggest goal, is we want to get the house paid off. Well, I still like to have some Snap-on tools. Like I'm always looking for ratchets and stuff like that, but I'm looking for a deal too. Now, here's a problem with Snap-on tools is secondhand tools don't have a lifetime warranty. Good luck getting, I found this the hard way. Good luck getting, you can't just walk onto the Snap-on truck and exchange. The old school guys would, but the new school guys, they won't do it unless you have an account with them and they're making money off of you. Nope, they don't want to play with you. They'll tell you that old used tools don't have warranty. That's only for new tools. Whatever. I don't think people look down on most of my cars. I think they look at them with disgust and amazement. I don't own any Snap-on. I own very few. For the show on the 4th. I'm not good on that kind of stuff. I'll try, but that's all I can say is I'll at least try. I agree. I'll totally agree with that, Shelby. I have a Snap-on socket, a small one found under the hood of the car, but I haven't seen it in a while. I've got here's my list of Snap-on tools. I have one Snap-on swivel socket of a size, and I don't know what size it is. I have one Snap-on tool or two Snap-on tools that belong to my grandfather. When I inherited his toolbox. So that's 3 snap-on tools. I have a snap-on speed wrench, 3/8 drive. I have a snap-on 6-inch 3/8 extension. I have a 5-inch 1/4-inch extension. I have a 1941 3/8 drive ratchet. I have a 1951 1/2-inch ratchet fat handle 51, and then I have a snap-on brake tool, drum brake tool, which I love, by the way. If you need to use a brake tool, drum brake tool, buy the snap-on one. Find them used. They're like $25. Don't buy them new. They're a couple $100 new. And then I just picked up at a garage sale, a snap-on distributor wrench. So I have 10 pieces of snap-on, grand total. Everything else is whatever, mainly Craftsman. But yeah, that's what I got, and I fixed my rides. But yeah, I'm always kind of looking to upgrade, but I'm always looking for a deal too. Basically, biggest bang for the least buck. My current payment towards principal that I pay on top of my mortgage payment, it alone would pay off my house in 19 years. As I start making more money, I'll pay towards the principal. Good for you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. All my tools are Harbor Freight, Milwaukee, and Gear Wrench. Nothing fancy. I do have a single 1912 snap-on breaker bar / ratchet. Awesome. I just picked up a, not that long ago, I needed another 1/4-inch drive ratchet. And I picked, I'm sorry, I've got 12 pieces of snap-on. I have 2 snap-on torque wrenches. I have a 1/4-inch, or not a 1/4-inch drive. I have a 3/8 drive snap-on torquemeter in foot-pounds. And I have a 1/2-inch drive snap-on torquemeter in 1/2-inch drive. So I have 12 pieces of snap-on plus my 2 snap-on toolboxes. There's 14. Moving up in the world, huh? Shelby doesn't like my Impala because of certain extracurricular activities that were had before we got together. That's the past is the past. There's nothing that can be done about that. I have a big set of Craftsman tools, but they aren't any better than the cheap stuff. Found a home for the Shopsmith Mark V. That's good, Kev. Oh, the rolling Petri dish. That's not the car's fault. That's right. That's not the car's fault. When Mex is right, Mex is right. And besides, worst case scenario, Tanner can get himself a rug shampooer, and he can clean in the interior of the Impala. Yeah, the past is the past. That car has been cleaned recently. Well, there you go. See? Then the demons have been exorcised. Tanner has exorcised the demons. Kev's hoping to get rid of the property tax for over 65 people. That'd be great. Yeah? Shopsmith Mark V. That's the same as Saturday morning. The sales pitch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember watching that commercial. Shelby, that's what cars give their character, its stories, even if they're about someone you don't like. This is true. If Mrs. Speck says she didn't like my Fury because I had girls in there previously, we wouldn't have had a huge fight. She also doesn't want to piss off the Fury. Yeah, you don't want to make a Fury mad. We've all watched Christine. Correction, I'd pay off my house in 17.5 years with the current principal payment alone. yeah, we try to really make a principal payment on top. We make our payment plus a principal payment every month. We've always been good about that ever since we bought this house, and I'm proud of how financially responsible Lady Dougster and I are. We have very little debt. Our vehicles are paid for. Um, as a matter of fact, um, we named my Oldsmobile wagon Goldie. Nice. As a matter of fact, when I bought the wheel bearings for Black Betty, um, I was looking them up on O'Reilly's or Napa, and holy crud, those wheel bearings are $260 per side. Not even for a set, per side. So I'd have $500 in 2 wheel bearings. And I went, my God. So then I looked up Autobone, and they were $40 cheaper. $50 yeah, they were $40 cheaper. So I would save $80 on 2 if I went with Autobone. Well, then I looked them up on the Jungle site, and I got a pair of them for less than $100. Now, I'll let you know how quality they are, but I put them on. But yeah, shipped to my doorstep, less than $100. So I saved $400 on parts. So I bought brake pads for Betty and 2 wheel bearings, and I've got $155, $145 tied up in parts. Bye, Shelby. I currently make a principal payment every time I get paid. It's not much, but it makes a huge difference. I want to pay it off in 10 years. Well, you save on a boat. Every time you do that, you save on a boatload of interest. No, she's in the backyard blocked by other cars. Make a video with the measurements and also explain. Dad got smart and started marking his tires. Bye, my darling. My car literally is Christine's little sister. They have a similar personality, no exaggeration. I mean, the car moved itself 1.5 inches to the left from where I parked her. Explain that. Do 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 do. Autophone? Is that anything like AutoPen? The air cleaners on, speaking of Christine, the air cleaners, Autophone. No, I meant Autobone instead of AutoZone. Voodoo Fury. Yeah, speaking of Christine, those oval air cleaners, like when you see the engine shot, every car I've had tried to kill me. Vatozone. New guy guitar back from his run, I think. I did buy my Fury one year before Christine came out, but they were making the movie when I bought her. Now in the one scene, the scenes where you open the hood, they have the hood open, and you're looking at the engine of Christine. Christine is a dual 4-barrel car, and Christine has the oval air cleaners, but Christine's are chrome. But a lot of those came in a really nice gold color. And if I can't get like the 10-inch Moroso gold anodized air cleaners, I want a couple of Chrysler, that era style oval gold air cleaners, Chrysler air cleaners for my tunnel ram. And I think those will go because it's pretty close to the gold. As a matter of fact, there's here one on my desk. It's pretty close to the gold anodizing of my Moroso valve covers. So I think these with those gold air cleaners will look nice with my Mopar orange block. Wouldn't you think? My Fury liked me, but it did not like the redheaded girl I liked. My Fury had no problem with her little sister, though. Oh, my dad couldn't figure out why his back tires are always bald. Just finished. Somehow I came in third place, and I was by myself even. Well, you're like me, Dan. You know, you got to haul ass. It takes two trips. Because people make Christines, those air cleaners are going to be cost a lot of money. Well, yeah, all that dual quad stuff is kind of pricey. We'll see if I can't find some though. Still, yeah, that old dual quad stuff. Yeah, there is one guy I read about in a magazine, and he has his Christine car is built with the most film used Christine parts out there. Like the engine that you see, like we were just talking about, he has that Golden Commando 350 under the hood of his Christine. Like he no, you didn't send me any guitar pictures, Kev. Um like the bumpers that he used on his car were the ones used on screen. Like remember in the end when the bumpers are on when Christine's on fire, well he had the scorched bumpers with they used rubber cement on them. Like that car has the most screen used content on it for his car, which is very cool. And once that car was together, he was working on it one day, checking the transmission fluid, and he was in his garage. The car put itself in gear and smashed his leg against the wall and broke his knee. That's nuts. My landlord had a Christine lookalike equipped with a Poly 318 and a dual four barrel carbs. He sold it back in the 70s for a couple $100, which is funny that because Christine is fire engine red, and those Furies they never came in red like that. They were like in like creams and tans and white, and they were geared towards old people, and people didn't want those bright flashy colors like that. So it's kind of funny because I'll trust me, you'll never find a factory red one of those. Never. Maybe burgundy, but not red. But I don't even think they came in those colors. They came in like whites, tans, cream. Never got to drive any of my dad's cars. I drove everything of my father's. I drove his 78 Toyota. I drove his Toyota 4Runner. I drove his Dodge pickup. I've driven his Toyota that he has now. I drove his Dodge Magnum. I've driven everything. Ooh, D19 Martin from 1955. One of two made, all mahogany. Wow, you can hold it up to your ear and you can hear the rainforest. Be hard to sell a Christine car in the 70s when the movie came out in 1983. The color is what made it a special car. Factory sleepers, exactly. 66 coats of lacquer. Damn. Yeah, that's what Trigger is Willie Nelson's guitar Trigger. That is a Martin. I don't know the model designation, and it's got another type of guitar's quartz pickup in it, and that's what makes it unique. And he just keeps playing away with that old guitar, and they went and found another Martin guitar that's 2 serial numbers up or down the chain from the real Martin, the real trigger, and they even found the same quartz pickup, and they made trigger 2 and they gave it to Willie to play that, so kind of takes some of the stress off of the original trigger, because he's had that guitar, he's played the hell out of it for over 50 years. And he went out and he was playing the trigger 2, and then he finally would step behind stage and hand it to someone. He goes, give me trigger, and okay, there you go, and he'd go out with that guitar. And all they're doing now is the guitar guys, the luthiers, are just trying to keep the old girl, in fighting shape, and all sorts of repair work just to keep the old guitars going. Oh, it sounds mint. Please do, Kev. All right, it's almost 2.5 hours in. We've been on for 2 hours and almost 23 minutes. So even though I'm having a really good time as always, I'm gonna have to pull the plug. So thanks for coming out and hanging out with me. Always a good time. Always a good time. Let's be like the Beach Boys. Let's get together and do it again. Be here next week for same Dougster time, same Dougster channel. Bye, everybody.